Yo, TikTok's what's happening. You guys are in for a treat tonight. This isn't about me. People know that I have spiritual gifts, weird connection with the elements. It's not about me tonight. And I know the church is going to be mad at me. There'll be some religious people that might not appreciate this. But this is what I understand about Jesus and about the Bible and some misinterpretations that have been exploited. Some things have been hidden, but this is what I know to be true. And I got to share with you guys because I've seen some YouTube videos come down and I know this information is being suppressed, and that's not cool. We deserve to know the truth. We deserve to know what's going on in the world, all right? I wrote down a lot of stuff. You guys got to bear with me. Get your Halloween candy, get your stuff together. Treats, ice cream, popcorn. Listen to your boy, all right? I got you. Again, this is written down. My eyes will be moving. But this is what I understand of what's going down, all right? Jesus lived many incarnations. He was a soul named Armelius. That was the first of this soul is existence, okay? It took place in Atlantis. Adam was the first man that this soul Armelius took physical form. Enoch was another life that he lived. That's why he was already spiritually aligned. He didn't die. He got ascended to heaven and he walked with God. There's two people that you wouldn't think about that he was, that don't make a lot of noise today. But Melchizedek was a priest king who blessed Abraham. He lived his life. Zerubbabel, I try to look up these pronunciations before I did this, I'm sorry. But you know what I'm talking about. He was the builder who restored the temple after the Babylonian exile. He lived that life. And then Jesus was the perfect incarnation of the state of this soul. And so that's what the Bible is that they suppressed this when they X'd out the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I heard around 300 and something that they really wanted to suppress information about reincarnation. And that's what the book is supposed to be about, is how you, through lifetimes, become more spiritually aligned. And I can get more into that later. I've heard that people that are sick are not spiritually aligned. They're holding on to resentment. They're not showing appreciation. They've done things in past lives that they haven't forgiven themselves for. They're not eating healthy. They're not being grateful. They don't pray or meditate. Their body's out of alignment. And that's some of the reason that they're dealing with physical ailments. They can be treated. You don't need the doctor. You don't need medicine. You can do it that way, is the way it's supposed to be done. Curing blindness, all kind of stuff, all right? I know that for a fact. And these incarnations did happen. And then I also know it doesn't say in the Bible where Jesus was at from where he was 12 to 30. He went some places, and I understand why he went to some of those places. I'm going to break it down for you. Jesus was missing, like I said, about 17 years in the Bible. They said he was called Yahshua. Some people called him the Master, but he wasn't here to be worshipped. He went to Egypt and spent a lot of time there, and he studied at some temples near the Great Pyramids. I heard that he studied the priesthood of Ra-Ta, and he studied spiritual initiations, the death of the lower self and rebirth of divine self. And that's what the pyramid actually represents, is the temple of the living God. Our temple is the temple of the living God. And there's encoded equations and all kind of stuff in the pyramids. And the pyramids were built in like 10,500 BC. They were built by the remaining people of Atlantis, and they have spiritual ties. That's why, there's messages within, how long the hallways are and stuff that ties to world events that happened in the past and stuff that will happen in the future. The Hall of Records is underneath the Sphinx. They said that will not get revealed until mankind understands Christ consciousness to a certain degree. And I'm going to do a whole other video about that probably tomorrow, so bear with me. I don't want to get too far off of that. But that's where he went out first. For the school of initiation was Egypt, all right? That's number one. Number two, he went to India to study the law of one, the oneness of all life. He studied with Hindu sages, holy men. He learned deep meditation, the principle of unity with the Creator, the law of one. His mission was to fulfill the law in every land, which means that Jesus absorbed divine truth from every spiritual tradition. He learned from every religion. That's why he became the Christ consciousness, which we all have, which we're all supposed to find for the planet to take its next step, and we understand where we came from and our purpose of being here. Not to worship him, but to try to be how he walked, how he treated people, how he showed love and compassion, all these things I'm telling you about, right? Third off, he went to Tibet to learn compassion and the mastery of spirit. He studied with spiritual masters to learn about inner peace, healing, compassion, to master the control of the body through spirit, essential for later miracles he performed when he went back to Palestine. And they know this because they have records of him going to these temples, studying with the Buddhist monks. There's records there and scrolls. You can go do research on that. I think he studied with the Dalai Lama, one of them, at some point. They have records of him being there. They called him Isa. It's called the Book of Isa. Some spell it I-Z-Z-A, some spell it I-S-S-A. You can go look into that. Maybe I'll do a whole video just on that. We continue. Then he went to Persia, which is modern-day Iran. He studied with Magi in Zoroastrian wisdom. There, he studied with the people who came to visit him as an infant. So when the three wise men came, they came and told the Virgin Mary, they brought them gifts, I get it. But they were like, when he gets to this age, 12, whatever, he's got to come out east, he's got to come study with us. And he linked back up with them, okay? And what he learned there was a deeper understanding of the forces, of light and darkness, good and evil, the cosmic dualism. That's what he learned, the contrast of everything, okay? So then he absorbed all that. Then he went back to Palestine. And he was the embodiment of Christ consciousness, perfect harmony of divine love. And you accomplish that through acts of service, expecting nothing in return, forgiving everyone and everything, asked to be filled with the light. Everything on this planet, everything is light, energy, frequency, and vibration. I'm trying to get this in before this ends. All right? I'll probably have to do a second part here in a second. Hell and heaven are states of vibration that you achieve here. It's levels of consciousness, it's levels of vibration. So once you work through the chakras, you're at different levels of your vibration. Being authentic, full of love, being grateful, being joyful, having faith. Then you start understanding other things. The equations, the secrets of the universe. I'm not going to be able to finish this right now, so I'm going to do another small part. Stay tuned. If you like it, I got you. Please repost and share this. I appreciate your guys' time. And thank you for keeping an open mind and understanding. It's just what I understand through my gifts and what I've learned of what's really going down. All right? I got you.